Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving into the surprisingly complex world of a machine that literally moves our world, the forklift. I mean, you see these things everywhere, right? In warehouses, on construction sites, just buzzing around. But there's way more skill and, regulation behind the controls than you'd probably think. So let's get into what it actually takes to operate one. Okay, so first things first. If you want to operate a forklift in the UK, you can't just hop on and start lifting things. Nope, you've got to be properly trained and certified. So how you get certified really depends on where you're starting from. If you're totally new to the game, you're looking at a pretty comprehensive 4 to 5 day course to get you up to speed. But hey, if you're already an experienced operator, it's a much quicker process. Just a 1 to 3 day accreditation course is all you'll need. And what if you're already licensed, but you want to branch out? Maybe drive a telehandler or a different kind of counterbalance truck? Well, the good news is it's a super quick process. It's usually just a 1 day conversion course to add another machine to your skill set. Easy. Okay, now here's something that trips a lot of people up. You might think that once you're certified, that's it, you're good for life. And, well, technically, the license itself doesn't have an expiration date. But, and this is the really crucial part, the health and safety executive, they strongly recommend a refresher course every 3 to 5 years. And it just makes sense, right? Safety rules, regulations, even the technology, it's all changing. A standard procedure from 5 years ago might be totally outdated today. So staying current isn't just a suggestion, it's absolutely essential for preventing accidents. All right, so we've covered the person behind the wheel. Let's switch gears and look at the machine itself. What actually powers these workhorses of industry? When it comes down to it, forklifts are pretty much powered in one of 3 ways: gas, diesel, or electric. And each one has a very specific job to do. Choosing the right one is a huge decision that affects everything from indoor air quality to just raw lifting power. So let's break that down. Each power type really has its own lane. Electric, that's your clean, quiet choice for indoor warehouses, no fumes, no fuss. Gas is kind of that versatile middle ground. It's happy outdoors or in well-ventilated spaces. And then you've got diesel. That's the powerhouse, right? Built for those really tough outdoor jobs where you just need maximum torque, period. And no matter what's under the hood, careful, regular cleaning is totally non-negotiable. It's a pretty simple process, really. You wipe away the dirt, you lubricate the important parts like chains and valves, and this is a big one. You avoid using high-pressure water that can force its way into sensitive electronics. And then, letting it dry completely, that's not just for looks. It's about preventing rust and making sure the machine is 100% safe for the next shift. Okay, so we've got a certified operator, we've got a well-maintained machine. Now, let's see what happens when we put them both into action out in the real world. So this is a question I hear all the time. Can you actually take one of these things onto a public street? And the answer is yes. But, and it's a big but, there are some really important rules you absolutely have to follow. And this right here, this really shows the huge shift in awareness that's required. Inside a workplace, you're focused on your colleagues, on tight spaces, but the second you take it onto a public road, you're in a whole new ballgame. Suddenly you're dealing with traffic, pedestrians, and a whole new set of legal requirements. That forklift has to be taxed, registered, and insured, just like any other car on the road. Now, before any shift even starts, before a single box is lifted, there's one critical procedure, and every single operator has to do it, without fail. It's the law. That's right. You are legally required to inspect your forklift each and every time before you use it. This isn't just a, good idea for safety, it's a legal mandate. The whole point is to find any potential mechanical problems before they have a chance to cause a serious accident. All right, for our final section, let's get into the really high-stakes rules. These are the absolute core of safe forklift operation, the non-negotiables. This first one, oh man, it's such a classic temptation to try and save a few seconds. But raising or lowering a load while the forklift is moving, it dramatically shifts its center of gravity. One wrong move, just one, and the whole machine can become dangerously unstable in an instant. You might look at a load and think, yeah, I can get that with one fork. But lifting with a single fork is absolutely forbidden, and for a very good reason. It creates a completely unpredictable, unbalanced weight. You're putting insane stress on the equipment, and honestly, making a tip over almost inevitable. It's a recipe for disaster. You have to think of every forklift as a precisely engineered balancing act. Its counterweight is designed for a very specific maximum load, and that's it. So adding extra weight to try and lift more, you're fundamentally breaking that design. You're not just bending the rules here, you're literally defying the physics that keep that machine upright. And speaking of physics, it is absolutely unforgiving on this point. Even what looks like a tiny, slight incline can be enough to send a multi-ton stack of goods toppling over. When you're stacking, the ground has to be perfectly level. No exceptions, period. Okay, so on the flip side, here are the absolute always rules. We've already covered the pre-use inspection. That's number 1. When you're climbing in, always maintain a solid 3-point contact. That means gripping the frame and the seat. Never ever the steering wheel. And maybe most importantly, if you run into any kind of problem, your job isn't to be a hero and fix it. It's to stop what you're doing and talk to your manager immediately. So the next time you see a forklift humming away at a warehouse or a construction site, just remember everything that's really going on. It's not just a vehicle, right? It's this whole system of training, maintenance, and a super strict code of conduct all working together. It's a skilled job with some really serious responsibility. And it kind of makes you wonder, in this age of automation and AI, what's next for this humble, essential machine that quietly keeps our entire world in motion?